But the majority of the reason why we're looking at Bitcoin now is the huge increase in price. And that's what really takes it away as a currency. If I owe you £200 and say Bitcoin's trading at £200, I can give you a Bitcoin and say, there's our £200 debt is paid. Tomorrow, the value of Bitcoin halves. I've got away with not actually paying you 100 quid.
No, that's false.
The fact that it is doing so well is
because it's so volatile, people can't use it as a medium of exchange.
Bitcoin to any currency instantaneously. Instant
I mentioned
conversion.
all the other virtual money.
There's no currency.
Chaps, we haven't got long.
16% risk that we're seeing on a daily
minimum. You make
minimum.
an instant transaction using a service like BitPay, for example, you take no currency risk.
Okay, which not many people will take at the moment, right?
No. It's a huge industry.
What about all the other currencies? I mentioned at the beginning, the peer coin and the hobo nickel and all the rest of it. Do you think there's any... I mean, obviously, if you can do an algorithm, you want to code a new coin, right? Will those have any future?
Competition is good.
Very nice internet affectation, I think.
Well, I'm surprised.
What affectation?
Yeah.
That aren't going anywhere.
Aren't going anywhere. A nice thing for online, they will always have a following.
Will you ever invest in virtual currency?
I had a look at it a couple of years ago, had a place, see what the infrastructure behind it was.
Richard Branson just said today he's accepting Bitcoin for his interspatial flight new programs, and he's already booked a $250,000 seat with it. So people are accepting There's 20,000 merchants that accept Bitcoin, and it's growing in popularity.
And there you see it. There's an early video from Max Kaiser, and he's been a Bitcoin advocate for years. And as you see, he's trying to school people years ago. That's pre-2017 Max Kaiser telling people to buy Bitcoin, why Bitcoin's going to be around, why it's important, and why it's needed in the global economy. And Max is still doing this. He's still a strong advocate for Bitcoin, just like the Bitcoin bros. But are you listening? With that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean Spun back at you, another cryptocurrency video. Getting straight into this video, we have quite a few charts we're going to go over. We're looking at the Bitcoin 2-year moving average multiplier. So anytime we're down this green area, it's an optimal buy opportunity. This has only happened 3 times before over Bitcoin's entire life cycle. Right now, it's sort of trending towards being the longest time. Have you been stacking sats, and have you been accumulating? Another chart, the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. Anytime it's towards the bottom of this lower growth curve here, the orange line, and anytime it's even below it, it's an optimal buy opportunity. Look at the bottom here. Every time we come down, bounce up, come down, bounce up, come down. And what's going to happen when this bounces back up? It's definitely going to see some major price appreciation. This is an optimal buy-in. The Puel multiplier. Every time we're down this green area, what's the price do? This is an optimal buy-in opportunity. The price goes up and to the right. Buy zone, up and to the right. Buy zone, up and to the right. Right now, we're in the buy zone. We've been in the buy zone. Fast forward a couple years, what's Bitcoin going to do? If history's any indication, the writing's already on the wall. And then the R-HODL ratio, same thing. Every time we're down this green area, a buy zone, blast off. Every time, blast off. Every time, blast off. Well, look where we're at right now. There's too many indicators saying that the bottom's almost in, if it isn't in already, but this is an optimal accumulation zone. If you're holding it for the next 2-3 years, and if history's any indication, per the previous Bitcoin's price action over the past decade or so, then this right here will be your optimal entry point. There's not going to be too many times that Bitcoin gives you this discount in the price. Take advantage of it while it's here. The last chart we're going to show you is the reserve risk. And right here you can see the reserve risk. Every time it comes up into this red area, that's a sell point. Every single time, sell point. Sell point. We didn't even get up to that area this past cycle. We did not even get that overbought. But look how oversold we are. We're the lowest that we've been in this accumulation zone down below the green area anytime in Bitcoin's history. It's never been this low. So if you're stacking sats right now, and once we blast back up towards this red area, it's definitely going to be a huge price appreciation. And right now is your chance to be getting some cheap Bitcoin. When I say cheap, I'm doing the air quotes because it's $16,000 still. That's a lot of money. But right now, that price is going to seem extremely cheap if you fast forward 10 years out. We have an update today from macro expert LYN ALDEN. She's making a 2023 Bitcoin price forecast and says that privacy should be the key area of development through this downturn. So we have this update from Lynn. If you want to hear more from Lynn, you can check her out at LYN ALDEN Contact on Twitter, or just go to lynalden.com. If you don't know her, she's the founder of LYN ALDEN Investment Strategy. So with that, let's hear from Lynn and see what she thinks is going on in the crypto market.
When we chat at the end of 2023, do you think Bitcoin will be a higher price than it is now or lower?
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to make one-year predictions with something so volatile. My expectation would probably be higher, but I also would say I would also doubt that it'd be all-time highs. No, so my expectation would be somewhere between here, like higher than here, lower than it's been, with the caveat that, I mean, if something severe happens, and you have some sort of crazy liquidity crisis, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It could be lower. My expectation would be somewhere between here and prior highs.
Okay, just final question. What are you looking forward to in 2023? That's
tricky. I think I can separate into macro and Bitcoin, I guess. I guess in macro, I want to see in the first half of the year, I want to see what happens with a lot of these indicators. So a lot of times the way I phrase things is like I'm very confident in how things are going to go for the next 6 months. And other times you're at more of a pivot point and like my uncertainty is higher. So for example, earlier this year, I was more like adamant of kind of risk off conditions. And now I'm kind of like, are we gonna keep that going into full on recession, or are we gonna kind of have like a kind of a global led rebound? And so my uncertainty in the next 6 months is like higher than it was, say, 8 months ago or something like that. And so I would like to see more of a resolution in some of that data to kind of point me to a higher confidence position there. I think for Bitcoin, my interest is in probably like infrastructure scaling. So things that Breeze is doing with Lightning, making kind of the back end more efficient. Things like Fedimint. I think they're going to be kind of a full gear throughout 2023. I think ways to make the network more private, more scalable, not just for Lightning, but just overall Bitcoin usage. Anything that makes Bitcoin more fungible, and gives people a bigger range of options to use. So they can use the base layer, they can use Lightning, they can do something custodial if they want to. There's this whole kind of stack that they can pick whatever serves their need the most. And so for me, it's looking at kind of the classic bear market building situation. And so, for example, and I'm in a fortunate position because I advise EcoDeathCapital, and I get to talk to the founders that we're looking to invest in or that we have invested in, and just kind of see the work that they're building and see what they plan to do and trying to do our best to help that happen.
There you have it from LYN ALDEN. She's saying that at this point in the market, this time should be meant for building in the space, building things to help push this space forward, educating, and just staying plugged into crypto. As far as the Bitcoin price action, by the end of this year, by the end of 2023, she doesn't see new all-time highs, but she sees Bitcoin being higher than what it is right now. Somewhere between where we're at right now and the previous all-time high, around 70,000, is where she sees it. Now, barring no black swan event or no catastrophic blow up of the financial system causing Bitcoin to see lower price action than what it is right now by the end of the year, that's obviously, in the cards, and you have to sort of be cognizant of that. But all in all, we agree with what Lynn says. Somewhere from where we are right now and in between the previous all-time high, it's a wide range, about 16,000 to 70,000, but that's where we see Bitcoin. The halvings next year, a blast off will come shortly after then. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.